आफ्टरनून। ये जोर से बोल बोला। हो मतलब पहले मिले, we met earlier? How many of you met me earlier? Show me your. My God, very good. Clap for yourself. So there is a psychology which says that you need to be a little selfish, right? Right? So are you guys are selfish? Now some people are saying, I don't know what he will be going to say. How can I say selfish? You need to be selfish, isn't it? So when it comes to applauding for others, do not hesitate, yeah, and do not think twice, right? So hold on.
This is inclusivity. To be included in the board. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So let me complete the piece of information, right? So what I was talking? Selfish, isn't it? So there is a science behind, when you applaud, what happened? What happened? Can anyone tell me what happened when you applaud? Something happened? Motivation? Very good. Anything else? Confidence boost. Very nice, wonderful. What else? Self-satisfaction. Hey, no. Self-satisfaction or somebody gets satisfied? Okay, good. Self-satisfaction. What else? Right? So when you applaud, right? So there are points, acupressure points, right? There is a pressure on this, right? When this happens, there is a more circulation of the blood happen through lungs, kidney, through heart. We all have heart? Sure? So when this circulation becomes faster, you feel more energetic. You feel more energy, isn't it? Yeah, and along with that, you feel young. Yeah, so there will be a more glow on the faces, beautiful, charming faces. If you really want your glow to increase, applaud. Don't think whenever the opportunity comes, right? And the boys, how many boys are here? Show me your right hand. Very good. So you will see that your muscle power will increase. Yes? So applaud for yourself. Let me see how many of you understood. Very good. This is the science behind when you applaud what happens, right? So wonderful, and thank you so much, and welcome all our panelists here for the panel discussion. So I found today my friend in this campus of ISBR, because I come from pharmaceutical background, right? And I came to know just now when we were discussing in the meeting room that Bala sir also comes from pharmaceuticals, yeah. And pharmaceutical world is very small. Within a few 2 to 3 minutes, you will be able to find out the common connection amongst you, yeah. So thank you so much, Bala sir, for joining for us for this.
Pleasure.
Yeah. See, it looks like that I am the, from ISBR and he is the guest. Isn't it? It's really good. We also have Roopshi Surana madam. She comes from a lot of, the background of IAF, Indian Academy of Facilitators, as well as she is also ICF certified international coach. And she conducts a lot of very unique customized program for helping various organizations. So thank you so much, Roopshri, for accepting the invitation for coming here for this panel discussion. And we have Shilpa Chauhan amongst us. And Shilpa is very seasoned HR leader. She helps various countries in terms of establishing the HR processes over there and helping that multinational organization to grow. Thank you so much, Shilpa, for taking out time today. Right. So I believe that I need not to remind you the importance of Applauding again and again. Yeah. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. How many times this happens in the life that we may not agree? We have difference of opinion. We may not agree with our colleague. We may not agree with our parents. Most of the disagreement happen there, isn't it? Yes? And then people call it as a generation gap. Yeah. Even though we have a disagreement, husband and wife, so much of disagreement, but they live together. They live together. So another important thing, yesterday I have been invited in one of the forum of IIMM, Indian Institute of Management, Material Management something.
Just a minute. I'm not sure whether the audience sitting there, are they very inclusive here? Are they feeling inclusive? If not, I see the wheels here.
Okay. Okay, I think we should remove this or shift it somewhere. It is fixed, I believe.
It is
Fixed, so no problem. So we are not fixed, we can move.
Yeah, we
Yeah?
can. Yeah.
I feel we can move.
Yes, absolutely.
Good.
Is this any better? Yes. Most welcome.
Now all are visible. Let me sit there and then you tell me. Huh?
Or do you want to bring your chair here, Pankaj?
Here,
Here.
their side.
Nice.
This is fine. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Roopsri madam, for. Do we need to shift this on? It's okay. It's okay. Fine. I forgot here what I was talking to all of you.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to break your.
No problem. But no need to. Let me check their memory. What I was talking to you? Okay. I got it. See, so yesterday was some special day yesterday? Teachers' Day, right? So we know, we come from the very rich culture and the background of importance of gurus and the teachers, right? Those who take us from the darkness of life to the light by showing the actual knowledge, sharing the actual knowledge, right? And that is why we say, Guru Govind do khade kake lagu paaye, balihari Guru aapki Govind diyo bataye. We say that the importance of teacher is such, it is more than the God even. Who showed you the path of God, how to reach and attain that enlightenment is the Guru and the teacher only. So big applause for your teachers from ISBR. So even though when you disagree with your teacher, when you disagree with your parents, when you disagree with your friends and the colleague or maybe anyone in the life, even though we can respect, disagreement is equally like that is an agreement. It do not have to do anything with the respect or disrespect with that particular person, where most of the people do mistake. Isn't it? Yeah? So, let's move to the next part of very important discussion today on the topic of talent retention and in the competitive environment, the innovative approaches, right? So I am ready with my questions to ask to the panelists. So the first question, that why talent retention? Why talent retention? And what is the role of retaining the talent in the organization? Why it is important, right? So I would like to ask this question to, I think it's, hello, yeah, so, to Roop. Yeah, Roop Shri.
All right, so with my experience of about 18.5 years in this corporate world, I've met industry leaders from various organizations. So why talent retention? I believe it makes it a very comfortable space for the employees and the employee when you have this the talent retained and the talent grows into the same organization. Yeah, it's a very comfortable space that gets created. Is my one sentence answer at this moment.
Yeah, thank you so much. I would like to learn from Shilpa, if you can just share, because You know how important is talent for the organization. So much of churning is happening, attrition is happening, and again the load will come on HR to recruit a new talent.
As my experience, I understand that retention is much more important, and the retention starts not when the candidate is onboarded, right when you source that particular candidate. Because from then onwards, the nurturing happens. And with my industry, with my company currently, for me, it's right from the day they are being shortlisted, I have to catch hold of them so that they don't move out. So that's how I work. And that's much more important because, the role what they play is important for us. And to hire another person for that role, there's a time investment, there's a cost investment. So I think that's much more important that you can enable that person to do much more than what he is doing right now, so that he feels included through the organization.
Yes, very much important. If otherwise your organization will only become a training house. People are coming, getting trained, and somebody else will hire them, right? For some another company, they will reduce the training cost. Yeah. So, Bala sir, from the pharmaceutical perspective, the most important the performance for the organization, business comes from the people available present there in the field, right?
Yeah.
So, how much you feel that the talent retention is important from a pharma company's perspective?
Yeah. Well, first, good afternoon to all analysts and dear students. This pharma sector, as you are very familiar with, is a highly volatile sector. The market is open, and it is not limited to any IT office like the people who go and work in chambers or cubicles. They work on streets, and they are visible. Performances are quite visible, right? And poaching happens almost on a daily basis. The best performers are identified on the streets itself. I think you would agree with me. And they don't even actually wait for what kind of a background they come from. Immediate exchange of business cards happen, and be in touch whenever you feel like these are nice words they give. And so the human intervention is very much important to really retain these talents. I think building relationship is what I found as a core for a manager to lead a team of whatever we are, be it in offices or sales force, whatever you call it. Building a quality team with a lot of, you call it as values, and that is actually, I think you would agree with me, rather than just, of course, training and all those interventions are always great, but as a manager, that really is the most important role. So I believe that to retain these kind of talents is always, we need to be continuously on the toes to understand how we can think for the future, not for today. I think that sets the tone for our further discussions. Thank you for this.
Wonderful. So, for any organization, they do a mapping of the employees, right? What is the mapping of the employees? There is certain position in the organization, certain roles in the organization which are called key position. Key positions are the people, those are having the key levers of the organization to bring changes, and they are actually responsible for the performance, right? And this performance is leading to overall P&L, right, for the organization. So that is why this talent is really very much critical. Now, what is the most important thing when it comes to the talent, right? The remuneration, the CTC, or maybe another thing what me and Roop Shri we were discussing about the culture of the organization, right? So my next question is especially from the culture perspective, because Roop is doing some of the research work into the same domain. How culture is important when it comes to retaining the talent? So, Roop.
I believe that's a foundation. So adding on to that, when I say culture, I feel being safe and supportive in that environment is so very important. Feeling psychologically safe, where whatever I share, I don't, regret sharing, where I'm okay to admit mistakes, where I don't fear of failure, where I don't have the fear of failure. I feel this really helps each one of us to bring our best. Where I'm, connecting with anybody and everybody without the fear of the hierarchy, without the fear of what my thoughts, without the fear of whether people are operating with their biases, assumptions, perceptions. I believe that is the space where each of us can really flourish, not just survive but thrive in that organization. So culture to me is the most important piece, that each organization needs to focus a lot on.
Can you help us in understanding what do we mean by culture? Something, few light if you can just put on this.
Okay. If I have to throw open this question, I just want the audience also to engage with
Absolutely,
me, if you're okay with that. So I would like to hear it from you because culture is defined very differently by each one of us. So if I just throw this open to you, what does culture mean to you? What do you mean by culture? If I can just have a quick show of hand and hear your inputs on to what does culture mean to you? Yes, please. Sure.
Would you want to have the mic there? Maybe we can operate with that. Okay.
By the way, I'm not going to throw it. I'll actually go there.
Yes, if you can share this mic, we'll operate with one mic here.
Yeah. Say your name first and then probably answer.
Yeah.
Help us with your name and then respond. What does culture mean to you?
Hello, Rohit. My name is Rohit Kar. If I have to think about the term culture, I believe that culture can be, as far as my definition is concerned, something like ethnicities, languages, and perhaps religion and like religious beliefs or philosophical beliefs. Those are something that I would consider as culture.
All right. Can I hear maybe one or two more voices? Yes, please.
In my context, I would see that culture is something wherein everybody has differences and still they live together.
Okay, great, interesting.
And in terms of organizational culture, it's something that we create the environment, different perspectives towards positivity, and it together leads to a result which is the contribution of each and every single one.
Absolutely, beautiful. Thanks for adding that on. So I would say culture is made up of what actions and the behaviors that the people who live it brings, right? So for me, culture is behaviors, culture is action, culture is we, the people who are a part of the organization. It could be what the different perspectives that we bring in. It's not just particular to the the region or the religion. It's beyond that.
Very nice. Culture is become, let's keep culture as a culture, not as an agriculture. And it takes minutes to convert a culture to agriculture. Last 5 days are very painful. Between 25th to 30th, culture convert into agriculture when the performance doesn't happen. Same manager who was sharing a tiffin with you, cup of tea, coffee, and after 8 p.m. something else with you. Isn't it? Is suddenly changing between 25th to 30th. So yesterday, not yesterday, I recently recorded a podcast where I was talking to someone. So a manager, behaves very differently during this crucial time and the critical time. Sudden behavior changes and so many relationships are broken, right? And once the closing gets over, business closing gets over, business numbers are freezed. Once again, next 10 days goes into the repairment of all those broken relationships. This is what the culture is. Leadership is not judged and observed when things are going fine. Leadership is always demonstrated when the things are critical. When the problematic days and the critical days are there, when the performance is not happening, that's the time to demonstrate the real examples of leadership. And that's called the culture of the organization. So I work with a very, very good renowned multinational company. called UCB. It's a United Chemical of Belgium. It's completely that sort of company where culture was the utmost. Business happen, doesn't happen, nobody cares. Must means on the stake of the culture of the organization. But nobody was allowed to abuse anyone in the organization. Nobody means nobody. People were, thrown out from the organization because somebody has used those words. This is what the values and the ethics of the organization. Somebody says ethics, right? So this is what, the culture comes from. All right, so Shilpa, you can share some of your experiences when it comes to culture, because maybe the previous organization and the current organization, and who drives culture, something, a few lights on this.
In my opinion, it's as he mentioned, we drive the culture. The HR is important to right from the entry till exit of an employee. It's HR who is, inculcating the belongingness. So when I say culture, it's belongingness towards the organization, the respect of each other, what they are doing, and the transparency with the employee and the organization. So these all are part of culture. And that's how, when you trust an employee, emotionally connect, right? They feel responsible towards their work. That's how we build culture in our organization. When the task is assigned, it's like you give a timeline and you know that that person will complete. And if he has any hindrances, he would get in touch with us. That's how we trust each other, and then that's how we flourish together. That's much more important to have a good culture in an organization, because that helps you retain the talent.
Thank you, Shilpa. So we know there are two very famous, that epic, what I should say, scriptures in our Indian system, right? Ramayana and Mahabharata. Yeah. So understand from the culture from Ramayana. In the generations of Ram, Raghukul Reet Sada Chali Ai, Pran Jai Par Vachan Na Jai. We know this. Yeah. In Raghukul means anyone in this belongs to that generation, or maybe that kul, right? So this is what, once you have given the words, whatsoever happen, we will going to fulfill this. This is one of the example of culture. Another example is from the recent movie. You all have seen that movie? That's movie called Bahubali, right?
One or two.
That's also fine. Bahubali 1 or how many Bahubali you say? 1, 2 or 3? 2 only. Okay. So that lady, the mother of that Bahubali, and that she said, "Mera vachan hi hai," something, something of that sort. So this tagline becomes very popular, right? So that is why you might have seen in various organizations there are taglines, mission, vision, and the values are written. But they are written, but how many organization actually follows that? Right. Another thing is, if you take care of your people, they will take care of your customer. If you take care of your employee, they will take care of your customer, isn't it? Maybe that sort of lines are there, but in actual meaning, right? How many organizations actually follow that? Very rarely we see, right? So if I'll give you an opportunity to choose one, Tata or Reliance, what would you choose? Why?
Culture.
Somebody told me, "Juta pehno Bata ka, kaam karo Tata ka." Why? Because Tata, we know the kind of faith people have Tata. Still, in spite of having so much of business, India's number one company, Reliance, we do not have that trust on. With all due respect to all Reliance people in the organization, that Mukesh Ambani and Dhirubhai Ambani and their hard work at the recent marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beneficiaries out of marriage.
Huh?
The beneficiaries out of that marriage.
So whatever, we will not go into that, otherwise so many, books will open. Yeah. So, Bala sir, share something from your example. You work with many organizations, in the pharmaceuticals. Where have you found the culture was the best? And if you can share some of the example which happened with you, that will be a great thing for us.
Thank you very much. The first culture I agree with you is the agriculture. Agreeing with the boss is always. And that's a good culture. I think the students from here, please understand that there are three golden rules, right? Rule number one, boss is always right. Rule number two, refer rule number one. Okay. The third one is change the boss. What is that? Go to another company if you are able to. Otherwise, coming to this point, what you were mentioning, sir, that 25th tak it is a lot of agreements, agriculture, and 25th. Now it is all advanced. As the sales close starts between 15th to 20th, it is all over. They start predicting what is going to happen, what damage prevention measures can be done. Thanks to all this predictive analysis tools what these guys are working on. And all those fundamentals are there to help them to understand, to predict. And that is also, I just wanted to discuss a little later on that. But now coming to this ethics and values and culture, I think this is fairly driven by the sales force. I think this is a top-down here. Okay, if the top management feels that there is a good value system to be imbibed by the organization and the force or the representatives, whosoever you call them as their teammates, that is actually that percolates down from there. I believe that there is a top-down approach in this. People believe that, oh yeah, this has to be practiced. Let's not get into the other ways of getting things done through shortcuts. Let's have this done by principles and values that respect ethics. Then it is all practiced by everyone across. And I feel that this happens, as ma'am was right, mentioning about the time of inductions. Right? I feel that I also agree in a great way that we used to see a lot of candidates, off the what do you call as boardroom or selection room. It is more on the streets rather than in the selection room. We understand the culture of the person who works, how committed that person is, whether they are really traveling across and making all those attempts to meet their clients. So that actually we start seeing that how it is being practiced by them. And at the time of selection itself, we understand this is very important and they give value. Because this is actually, we used to say that three important components on attitude is very important. Your attitude sets your altitude. That's actually a poster I have seen in one of my boss's room. And then, but there was a step which was, I have to get down. I said, you have said that there, but I have to climb down to reach that. He said that it's a tough call. It doesn't happen that easy, right? So it's something like, our attitude is very important. And that almost, they say, some companies say that it's almost 80%. We can train if they have a nice attitude. Otherwise, we'll have problems with people who come with wrong understanding and probably the culture. So on that note, I think I do agree with your agriculture, but it is more on domestic rather than. I think you would agree. At home, it is agriculture is always better instead of getting into argumental culture.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to the next.
Yeah. So I want to ask you a question, right? You will be having a best salary in that industry. Best salary, highest top salary, if take an example, in other companies, if the CTC is 10 lakhs, right? Here in this company, CTC is 25 lakhs, right? But another scenario, there is no respect. There is no respect. So much of follow-up, so much of micromanagement. Even the midnight also you need to wake up and center data. Are you understanding? That much pressure is there. This is scenario number one. Company A, right? Company B. Salary is 20 lakhs. Pressure is there, but not that exorbitant what you saw in the company A, right? Yeah, last minute pressure and everything is there. Nobody will call you at midnight, right? This is company B. Company C, Company see so much of respect. You go to the office, there will be a person ready with the flower. Sir, madam, please come. This, that, everyone. And everybody calls you, ma'am, sir, ji, hanji, hoji, oji, aji, aha. You know? So much respect is there, but salary never comes on time. And salary package is also 10 lakhs. Salary comes sometime delay by 5 days, sometime by 10 days, sometime by 15 days. Sometimes they said 2 months salary will come together. Right? What kind of organization would you like to work? B. But A salary is highest 25 lakhs. This is what the culture called. Right? And as we know that all talented people would like to work for the best company, and all best company would like to have best talent in the company to work. Yes, we all want leaders, not laggards. People those who can lead, people those who can bring the transformation into the overall productivity in the. Sir, the camera बराबर है because he set as per this setup. Now नहीं इसका ये एंगल इधर है, हम लोग इधर बैठे हैं, कुछ गड़बड़ तो नहीं है, वो बुला लो क्योंकि ये important है. Otherwise ये खाली नहीं. Okay, so next important thing. Roopshri shared one of the very important point, that is called the psychological safety. Right? The company A, what example I gave you, there is no psychological safety. Right? Everyone comes to the organization having a fear of losing the job. So much of judgment is there. And people are judging the way you are sitting, the way you are talking, what kind of dress you are wearing. Arey, you want performance or what? Yeah, so yesterday I attended the conference there, the meeting there during the Teachers' Day, and someone shared, some faculty shared that there was an online meeting going on and one person was sitting in banyan. Are you understanding? So I said, sir, at least he was having some banyan. This is what, in COVID time, in one of my own organization, there was town hall meeting, virtual town hall meeting. The director was addressing all the people. And in the Microsoft team, one person opened even the camera and he was literally sleeping without having banyan even. Because he tired of last night traveling, somebody called his wife and make him realize that if you shut down your camera, nobody is able to attend because of this karate and everything. These are some of the drawbacks of all this. Yeah? So now I'm moving to the next question. That when it comes to talent retention, please share some of the best practices you have observed within your organization or maybe anywhere else, right? So that at least, we can understand what are the few nuances are there if organization can implement that will help in retaining the right talent in the organization. And right talent means the high pot people. High pot means high potential people. Yeah, so let's understand. Roopshri, you can share your thoughts on this.
So when I connect with leaders, as I was mentioning, I interact with a lot of leaders across organizations. So there have been certain clients with whom we've set certain ways of working. We call them as the wows. Okay, while we were sharing about agree, ideally we do not get into this agree culture. AGRRE. It's more about agree to disagree. So I'm going to highlight 3 very important vows, the ways of working, which can really help each one of us. When I say each one of us, each of the organizations to retain their talent. One is agree to disagree. Gather the courage to go and say it's all right to disagree. I don't have to be really harsh. I don't really have to be aggressive in saying that I agree to disagree. That's something which is very important for me. As a part of an organization, it's important for all of us to bring in that culture where it's okay to say no. Yeah, where it's okay to agree to disagree. The second vow that I would want to mention is replacing judgment with curiosity. And how do you replace judgment with curiosity? Can I get some responses? How do you replace judgment with curiosity? And why is this important? Anybody? Why is it important to replace judgment with curiosity? And how can we do that? Any of us? No? Simple way is to ask questions. Whenever you're feeling judgmental about something, whenever you form assumptions or you go by those biases, perceptions, the the simple thing is to go stand up and ask questions. That way we can suspend the judgment and replace it with being more curious by asking more questions. That's the second vow. Now the third vow is let's be open to everybody's perspectives. I think this really helps us to bring ourselves together in a space where everybody feels very safe and supportive. And just to, as a leading thought, I was just interacting with this set of leaders from an organization where we, at the end, came up with that leadership is a contact sport. It's not a spectator sport. It's not that you just see there what's happening. It's you have to be in contact with your people every time. And that is the place where people would want to, every talent would want to get retained into this organization, where leadership is a contact sport and not a spectator sport. Yeah. Okay.
Very nice. So let me share one of the best practice to retain the talent. Important? Say loudly, yes.
Yes, sir.
Your voice should go to triple IT that campus. Say yes. Your voice should wake the person beside you who is sleeping with the open eyes. Say yes. It's really important. So what I was sharing with you that let me share the program that one of the best practice. Okay, one of the best practice what I implemented, right? So I was working with one of the leading organization where I had a discussion with my CEO. He called me one fine day. Well, Pankaj, we are all doing all the programs for the non-performers. Do we have something to do with the performers? I said, wonderful, very good idea. Right? And we sat together and we said, sir, these are the people, those are already performing. Right? Can you do something to their skill? They said they are already experts. They are at the level of mastery level where they can make other people also learn how to do the things. Right? So then we designed a program that is called high potential learning interventions for the organization. And taking out few, the two people from each manager's team, and let's have the group of people and giving them the special treatment and some special unique intervention for them, the training programs for them, and we called it as a GROW training program, GROW, GROW. Right. So this is one of the practice which we implemented and which has yielded a very good results. What is the first advantage of doing something for the talent? First advantage is they will retain with you. Yes or no? Yeah, because the most beautiful girl in the class, isn't it, is having so many, I don't say now, the most performing person in that particular headquarter in the town is approached by many companies. Like Suresh shared that you need to be, the moment you judge that somebody is very good in attire, somebody is very good in his communication and the knowledge. So the three things what you were sharing, let me complete the 3 pieces or the 4 pieces. That is called KASH. Repeat after me. KASH. KASH. Right. So these are the 4 KASH and not CASH. Right. But this KASH has everything to do with CASH. Right. You want to know more about KASH? I'll keep you hungry for this. Are you hungry?
Very much.
Hungry for knowledge. I know you all had very good that gajar ka halwa, something carrot halwa, and very good lunch today. I got all the informations. Yeah. So, Shilpa madam, please share some of the best practices of retaining the talent.
But as in, I literally agree with her, like when she mentioned about open to feedback. So that's, yeah, openness to feedback, that's much more important. And because you grow along with the organization. And I understand that maybe in your first OD class you would have learned that we form an organization, right? So each other go hand in hand. That's how the employee both go hand in hand, right? So both the sides should be open to feedback. The second thing is, how many of you want to be in HR? All right, few hands. Okay. My first tip to you guys is that if you really want to retain a talent, okay, you, whichever organization you join, you better understand the culture, and then skills are important, but mostly important is the attitude of an candidate whom you are going to have, right? Because now you have got a chance where you can assess the attitude of the employee. Skills can always be trained, right? But the attitude, now you know if he is going to be fit, he or she is going to be fit in your organization. That's how I select the candidates for me, right? And I see people are staying with us for more than 7 years. In my organization, I myself have completed 5.5 years in this current organization, right? So that's how I inculcate those things, okay? And we being an HR, we are to drive this. Dip down, go push them, poke them, give them doses of this culture, belongingness, make them feel they are heard, right? So giving that openness to hear, your ears are to be open, be a good listener. That definitely gives a space where the person can feel that, okay, someone is there to hear me, someone can guide me, and of course, all solutions we don't have, right? But it's always that we can turn back to the employee and tell him that, okay, I can try to find out, I can give you the understanding that belongingness, the trust they show in you and you show the trust in them is much more important. One of the implementation that we did in one of the organization I was working with is buddy system. I'm sure that you have the mentors here when you join. So similarly, we have buddy system in our in the organization where I had implemented it. So because the person who, of course, while choosing the buddy, you need to be very careful, right? So that's much more important because they too drive your culture, okay? And that's how, because when the person is fresh, the new person who is coming into your organization needs to know and needs to know a point of contact where he can approach for what challenges he's facing, and he should have that feeling that, okay, I am heard, I'm giving solutions, or I'm being someone is understanding me. And this buddy is one of the person who prepares, all those things to us and brings in the what the person is going, right? So that's how we understand the person as well. It's good for both the organization as well as the employee. So that's how they grow, and always this buddy is one who helps to understand, learn, and always there are some things that we need to unlearn as well, right? So unlearn and learning is very much important. So be open to feedback, be open to learn. That's the best thing to both employee as well as the employee.
Very nice. So thank you for sharing, some of the best practices. There is a lady in London. The name of this lady is called Jane Hart. Right. This lady runs a institute there, the Institute of Center for Performance, Excellence Performance. And she coined a very good word for the corporate that is called the modern workplace learning. The learning which you had in your college or maybe the environment or anywhere else, that's the one part of learning. But the real learning happens when you actually in the organization, right? And where she said that this modern workplace learning, MWPL, right? This is the word is coined by her, where this buddy system really works phenomenally, right? So I am new to the organization. I do not know the people. I do not know the system and the processes. I do not know there is a system that everybody comes and say, "Good morning, sir." I do not know, isn't it? In some organization, I have seen even till the time the boss is there in the room, nobody allowed to go. The moment boss goes at 2 o'clock, everybody's office is completely empty. So this is what the system, and who set this system and processes? The boss himself. The boss himself, isn't it? जैसे नई नई लड़की की शादी घर में होके आती है ना, तो वो सासू माँ पहले बोल देते यहाँ घर में शादी होकर जब आएगी रोज सुबह पैर छूना है, तो पहले दिन ही उसको आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग, सो व्हाट आर यू डूइंग. So that's where the modern workplace learning plays a very important role, right? Where and what psychological safety, Roopshri was talking that agree to disagree. So disagreement does not has to do anything that he is. Some people take it on the ego. Some manager they say that I am a leader, I am a manager, but actually they are not. And there is a very famous saying in the corporate which says that everybody is working one level below. In any of the organization where organization need to really come up and evolve, right? So Bala sir, share some of the examples from your past experience. Go back to your pharma life. Just think about your manager and your bosses. Yeah. Share some of the critical examples which you really liked or which you really did not like. That will really give them the real scenario. Yeah.
Thanks. I should go back, if you had asked me, 30 years back. Okay. I was just promoted as a manager, and we were having raw field force as well as trained. Nothing comes as a uniform one. Nobody, you are not, you should be very lucky to have a team which is equally good in all aspects. It's impossible. That is probably the most ideal thing to happen, but it never happens that way. And such a situation I also faced, and we had always a saying. At that time, my manager taught me a good one. Bala, try something different for everyone. Okay, that's I think a very good message. All of you leaders would agree with me. And later it was reinforced by a lot of authors. A statement: different strokes for different folks. That actually made a lot of meaning in whatever I did. In fact, I identified that there are two stalwarts in my team. I still remember the names. One is Mohan and another is Venkatraman. They were from Chennai. So what I suggested, in fact, the company asked me. This is sometimes company also gets into a lot of good things at times, right? So they had asked for suggestions like how we can improve the competency of people and the oneness so that we retain the talents, right? And what are the things? Because they clearly mentioned that bottom line is we may not be able to increase the pay. That is the bottom line. That is certain. Other than that, what else we can do? That is a standard question. And I wrote almost for 3-4 days. I used to think about that, and finally I finished writing that. So on a week, after a week, I submitted that with all those beautiful whatever expressions I could put on that. I remember I had given the recommendation to make these two people as task force managers. The scale was the same, the responsibilities were the same, but they were given a kind of a different designation and given that kind of a there are some core products in every company, right? Those kind of core products, they will be having core clients, and we gave them that we are going to be tagging you with these kind of clients, and others may have to work on those clients who are little, they are not contributing much. You are giving some kind of an empowerment. I think that's a key word I wanted to bring in here. Empowered individuals contribute more. You need not really, as ma'am was mentioning, policing or micromonitoring. All these things are not required if you empower them. That work wonders, and today I am proud to say that both of them are entrepreneurs. One is actually having a property worth 7 crores now as a house in Chennai, and he, I think recently said that I have gone for a BMW. He markets only anti-cancer products, and cancer, what of money is there in that. Another person is dealing with orthopedic products. So these two characters I will never forget. And the retention strategies really worked. As a company also, you would all agree there are a lot of campaigns and promotional events. And we used to go to Goa once in 2 years as star performers meet. And that is a kind of motivation, that really works. And in fact, you would agree there are a lot of people who would like to be there. That's a kind of recognition. That there actually what she said happens, the peer pressure also is there, not only motivation, peer pressure. Okay, a person from that city goes, why not me? we almost share the same kind of competencies and we have the same kind of skills. How is that he is able to travel or she is able to travel and for this recognition and being awarded, why not me? So this really motivates, apart from retaining, they want to really contribute and show that what they are sustaining in the same firm.
Yeah.
I think that works wonders. Let's move on to the next one. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bala sir, for sharing the insights. Some of the organization, they create wow moments. What kind of moments? Wow. Say wow. Wow moments, and in other terminology, these moments are also called popcorn moment. Yeah. Wow moment means the day you join the organization, there is a welcome letter on your desk. There is a bouquet, there is a gift, there is a letter signed by the CEO of a company. And when you join over there, everybody comes to welcome you and clap for you, applaud for you. Will you be able to forget this throughout your life?
And a laptop bag, a keychain.
That should not be, mentioned. It is, laptop bag, keychain, bag, even maybe some T-shirt. These all things fine. But what really makes a difference here?
CEO letter.
The CEO letter touched, right? And these kind of experience are never forgotten throughout the life.
Yeah.
This is what said, and how much you know doesn't matter, how you make them feel really matters a lot. They shares each and every small and big moments of the individual person's life, the birthday, marriage anniversary, right? And all these moments, they try to find out how I can create wow in the entire journey or life cycle of this employee. Right. Some of the organizations, they actually send a thank you letter not to that particular employee, to their parents. Yeah. Sir, this year we were able to achieve our organization by 150%, 117%, 105%. Thank you so much for your struggle, for your involvement, engagement, and your whatever you did, and because of your son, our organization. How the parents will feel. They are not at all even engaging the employee, they are engaging the entire family. I work for Abbott, sir. So in my family, I can't forget few moments. I was working in the field in the outstation, and there was suddenly, there are 2-3, boxes of mangoes. What is that Ratnagiri mango called? Hafus, something. Alfonso. The very good quality Alfonso mango, 3 boxes have come, and my brother called me. Their mangoes have come. Who sent this mango? I don't know. Then I called my manager. He said, "Yeah, the company has sent to the important all the employees there." It was a wow moment. I never expected that such a things will come. They are giving you salary, they are giving you expenses and other thing. What else you want? But these are the few small things which really makes a difference. If there is a simple water bottle of any company, on the water bottle, the customized, your name is written there. The keychain, your name is written there. So these small things makes a big difference in the life of that particular employee. And this is called the engagement, right? So we celebrate a lot of functions in the organization, right? All the, festivals and everything. Yeah, so this few small engagement creates a lot of, so that entire life cycle of an employee from hire to retire, how many that wow moments are there. And if you're joining any organization and somebody introduced you, see, Mr. Ramakrishna is working with our organization from last 30 years. You look at that Ramakrishna, there may be only 2 chances. Whether Ramakrishna is not skilled enough to see another opportunity. This thought comes nowadays, in the mind of the people. Another way, maybe the company might have given in the good environment in the culture so that he don't think of changing the organization. Right? So these are the few things as a talent retention strategy which you can really think. I want to give you a homework. Are you ready to take the homework? Sure? ऐसे नहीं चले, हाथ उठाओ. Show me your right hand.
Classwork.
Everyone. Right hand. Some people consider right hand as the left hand. My right hand should be your right hand also. Yeah? Okay, so the framework is called the 9-box matrix, which is follow across the industry. I did a lot of work across in and around the 9-box matrix where 2 things are measured. One is the performance, another one is potential. Your performance versus potential. Don't search it on Google. This is the post-session one. Yeah. So we will discuss later on, maybe sometime, on this 9-box metric and how I implemented in some of my organization where I worked, the 9-box metrics in real life. Okay. Now moving to the next question. Techniques is what, which may change the entire scenario in an organization, right? Are we missing anything or anything, final message you would like to share with all our audience? I have given them a lot of work, already loaded with a lot of work, isn't it? You are okay, or do I need to give you something more?
They always have an appetite, I know.
They always have an appetite? You are telling, from this side, let me... yeah, okay. So let us, understand and for the final words, right, from the experts. Yeah.
I just want to leave you with, 4 points here. If you really want to retain talent, I think there are 4 levels of safety. Since I work in the space of infusing psychological safety, I'm bringing back my discussion over there. 1, to retain the talent, not just in an organization, anywhere, in any community. 1 is the learner safety. Inclusion safety. It all begins with inclusion safety. I need to feel included. I need to have that sense of belonging in the space that I am in. So first is the inclusion safety. Second is the learner safety. I heard Pankaj share that yes, there are a lot of initiatives that organizations hold, right, to create that learning space for myself. I would say inclusion safety, learner safety, challenger safety, and contributor safety. So I would want to sum it up with these 4 levels of safety, which really helps each organization, each community to retain that talent.
Wonderful. There is a new word, terminology, which is called the smell in the organization.
Yeah.
You heard about this? I do not know whether you heard about this or not. And another word, terminology, which I was discussing in my HR team, very senior leaders in HR, and that is called fragrance of the forest. Fragrance of the forest. Fragrance of the forest simply means the culture. Smell in the organization simply means the culture. How do you feel when somebody enters into the organization as a new employee? How that person feel, right? Within the 6 months of the joining date, right? That's the smell in the organization. We can talk much more deeper thing into this, when we subsequently, maybe discussing. But let's understand from Shilpa for the final message.
I would like to say that create the belongingness and trust your people, and they are going to retain with you.
Yeah, sir.
Final words means I would say the E's are important for me. One is empowerment. And go back to that because empowering employees makes a lot of changes because they become owners of it, whatever responsibility or task they are assigned. And continuous, another is, I would say, as the industry always talks about is engagement. You also were mentioning about it. Engagement in multiple ways. Finding out which would suit the team best and also the individual by and large the best. And the last one is giving them the required amount of knowledge, educate them. And I can say that I still have that commitment to one of the companies which had. That's the reason I worked for almost 5 years, the last one was. As you said, we were sent to IIM Ahmedabad for a course. And that still, I remember the professor's name and I still cherish those memories. So this is something which really makes you know that education has given you that extra edge. So with that note, I say education, empowerment and engagement would be making a lot of change in the future.
Yeah.
Probably we would protect our talents on this front, I believe. Thank you.
Yeah. So, last few minutes for the Q&A, right? We would love to answer your questions. Please throw your questions, ask, anything in and around this topic. I think one mic is already there, so you can, What is your name, madam? Shreya. Can we all applaud for Shreya? Good. Thank you so much, Shreya, for helping all of us. Yes.
Aji.
Yeah, there is one hand I can see there.
Hi everyone, my name is Kritika. So I have one question, like how is talent retention beneficial for the growth of employees? Like how can the employees grow? Sorry.
Yeah.
Kritika, I love the innocency in asking the question.
No,
Huh?
she said the answer also.
Yeah, so
Otherwise they will go.
yeah, very good. Yeah, but even though we would love to elaborate, anybody would like to elaborate the answer?
As I heard you, I had the same thought as Pankaj had, that you have coined the word the growth, right? Retaining yourself in the organization. See, if you remember, I started off by saying that it gives you a very comfortable space if you are in the organization, and not just for you, but for the employer as well. Yeah. But it's a choice that you have to make as to success is defined very differently by each one of us. Growth is defined very differently by each one of us. What does growth mean to you? Even before answering this question, I would invite you to think of a question as to what does growth mean to you? What does success mean to you? Right? If growth for you is maybe,
Financial.
yeah, if it's a financial growth, or growth to you is maybe establishing your credibility, or growth to you is relationship, where everybody, or growth to you is visibility. So I would say getting retained in an organization will help you with all of these factors, certainly. But then I would leave the choice to each individual who asks this question: how would retaining in an organization help me grow? So define yourself what growth is, what success is, and then I think you'll get the answer there. That's my take. Yeah.
So you help organization to grow, organization will help you to grow. Isn't it? Yeah. So when it comes to work, don't look at that how much you work, how much you really contribute. Then you can think about how much is the growth increment in the month of April or May. Your account has been credited, isn't it? And maybe the appraisal discussion and everything. Yes, but thanks for asking question. Good question. Any other colleague? Please ask. Yeah, bombard us with the questions.
Hello everyone. I just had one question. It's all about talent retention. So, in the companies, as you said, it's more comfort for employee as well as the employer. So, in many of the people seek to change companies as they don't want to in the comfort zone. They want to network. They want to grow in their life. So, what are the approaches you would see to retention of the talent?
Good question.
Now I'll have to add my research to that one because I also done a PhD. So let me bring that experience also to this. In fact, my target audience was 757 nursing staff. My research area was what really motivates them to stay with the organization, and how to bring down the attrition in all small nursing homes. The payment is not regular, and that way they come 12,000 rupees, and the only comfort they give is you are given a accommodation. It is in the interest of the hospital only, because they can be called anytime. Actually, there is an hidden interest in that. Now, answering your question, in fact, the way they are retained is more on the kind of supervisory support and the peer group, the buddy network, what she was mentioning. That really works wonders in most of the places I have seen. This applies to manufacturing sector. I have seen in manufacturing sector, people work together because of the team and the team leader. That makes a lot of difference. There could be some additional benefits. They go into another organization, but still they don't quit. just because they are having, it's not comfort zone. It is something like, they like that place, and that really works. In retaining good employees and managers and supervisors play a vital role in this function, I would say. And I have learned that and I have practiced that also whenever there is an opportunity to demonstrate that. I hope this answer satisfies you. Thank you.
No. Yeah.
There is an addition to that.
I would like to add upon, when we say, that you have such culture where you are feeling, included and all those things, okay, comfort zone, right? But when you have your employees, it is the role where you assess them. Okay, some are doers, some are go-getters, and some are followers. So you need to categorize them, and comfort zone in the followers and go-getters are the one which would tell that, okay, I want something new to do. I'm not comfortable, okay, doing the same thing. So assess them and align them some other additional tasks which makes them engaged is what would help them retain.
Very good. I think someone, please tell us your name also. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Gyanshu Mansar. My question is, how could a person keep the enthusiastic nature be live in an organization when the repetitive things happens a lot in his or her life?
Very good question. Such an interesting question, isn't it? Anything which is repetitive in the nature loses the interest, isn't it? Yeah. Anybody would like to answer, madam?
I would, but if someone does not have, I would.
Let's see. These two ladies. I think they are, Madam Rupshi, madam.
Okay. I'll just briefly, because this is a question that's a lot of times thrown on me as a leadership facilitator, right? When we facilitate programs on the behavioral skills, like how do we keep ourselves motivated? How do we keep ourselves really pepped up? I would say it's very, there are two ways of looking at motivation. There is something intrinsic and there's something extrinsic as well. But I would want to answer it in this way. If you look at your intrinsic motivation, what really drives you? Yeah, it's a very monotonous work. Maybe I'm working on a project, I'm working on a particular task, and that's repetitive. Maybe the people I meet is different, but then the same set of clients and set of people that I interact with. How do I keep up my motivational level? It's an individualistic choice again. What really drives me? If I answer that question for myself, what drives me? Is it the relationship that drives me? Yeah. I'll come back to asking ourselves that question. What really drives me? Maybe the things which are in my control. I will focus on the things which are not in my control. Yeah, I would bring this concept of control, no control, and influence. Maybe it's a very broad and a beautiful concept, but to bring it in a lighter version, I would say focus on the things which are in your control. Don't look at things which are not in your control. You might say the organizations should do something to keep me motivated, should do something to keep me enthusiastic. That's not in your control, right? So focus on the things which are in your control. So maybe do something different which brings meaning to what you're doing. Define your purpose. So my answer here would be, look at your intrinsic motivational factors. Instead of putting it on something else, the organization or the people around you, let's say, what is within my control which can keep me moving, which can keep me thriving. Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am, for the enlightenment.
अरे रुको भाई, अभी बाकी पिक्चर अभी बाकी है मेरे दोस्त। यार एक बात बताओ यार, एक तो बड़ा प्यारा सा क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने कि भाई बार बार वो काम को करेंगे, इंटरेस्ट कहाँ से आएगा? आता ही नहीं है इंटरेस्ट, है ना? इंटरेस्ट कोई किराने की दुकान पे तो मिलता नहीं, भाई 50 ग्राम इंटरेस्ट दे तो क्या भाव मिला, नहीं मिलता ना। है ना? तो एक मॉडल है यार, ये एक बहुत अच्छा मॉडल है। दिस इज अ पार्ट ऑफ द ओबी, ऑर्गेनाइजेशनल बिहेवियर का एक बहुत अच्छा मॉडल है, विच आई ऑलवेज यूज्ड टू टीच टू द ट्रेनर्स व्हेन आई कंडक्ट टीटीटी, ट्रेन द ट्रेनर्स, राइट? उसको बोलते हैं, दैट्स कॉल्ड द ब्लूम्स टेक्सोनॉमी, राइट? पूरा नहीं बताऊंगा, half you need to scratch and find it out. Bloom taxonomy, BLOOM, Bloom taxonomy, ठीक है? इसको एक एग्जाम्पल के तरीके से समझते हैं, ठीक है? कहाँ के रहने वाले हो आप?
आई एम फ्रॉम पंजाब।
पंजाब में कहाँ यार?
नियर टू लुधियाना, बरनाला सिटी।
बरनाला?
यस सर।
चलो बरनाला में नॉर्मली सुबह नाश्ते में क्या खाते हैं सब लोग? दही पराठा अचार, दही और पराठे के ऊपर मक्खन का इतना बड़ा टिक्का रखा होता है। दिस इज ऑल एंटायर पंजाब, इवन नॉर्थ इंडिया इज फेमस, लस्सी वस्सी दिन में चलता है। दिस इज व्हाट द थिंग ना। अब ये बताओ, मम्मी रोज पराठा बनाती है ना? रिपीटेटिव काम है कि नहीं है ना? लेकिन अब ये ब्लूम टेक्सोनॉमी का इसके साथ क्या लेना देना है? लेट मी शेयर विद यू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट हियर। द ब्लूम टेक्सोनॉमी सिंपली सेज you are at the level where you become an expert. अब मम्मी को जब आपको बोलना होगा ना, मम्मी थोड़ा पराठा स्पाइसी बनाना, आज कल मूली का बनाया था, आज गोभी का बनाना है, आज दोनों का मिक्स बनाना है, आज प्याज का और इसका बनाना है। अब when you are at that level कि आपको रिपीटेटिव करना है, you will achieve that level of expertise there. Do the experiment also there. उसको अलग अलग तरीके से करो। So same thing, same work, same job, but how innovative you are in doing that particular thing. That innovativeness, who need to find it out? You need to find it out. At the same time, नहीं, अभी बाकी पिक्चर और मैं, this is what the day-to-day thing which I am experimenting in my organization. Many people come with this. अभी ये तो बड़ा मासूम सा बड़ा प्यारा सा सवाल पूछा है। ऐसे सवाल लेकर के आते हैं लोग कि पता नहीं, उनको लगता है कि सारे, अब कंपनी में क्या है, इन माय करंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जितनी भी दुख दर्द सारे होते हैं ना, दुख दर्द सब मेरे पास आते हैं। वाई बिकॉज दे फील कि यार इस बंदे के पास में कुछ ना कुछ तो है यार, इसके पास लोग आके थोड़ा तरोताजा होके जाते हैं। मतलब आई ट्राई टू गिव माय एक्सपीरियंसेस एंड शेयर एंड आस्क एंड अंडरस्टैंड। जैसे कभी बोला ना, इट्स नॉट इंपॉर्टेंट यू गिव देम द सॉल्यूशन, लिसनिंग देम पेशेंटली इज ऑल्सो वन ऑफ द सेटिस्फैक्शन पीपल कैन गेट। ठीक है? नाउ एट द सेम टाइम, सेम काम जो आप कर रहे हो, रिपीटेटिव कर रहे हो, वो काम कोई और बंदा भी तो कर रहा होगा कहीं पर, है ना? उससे जगह पूछा तू कैसा करता है, यू विल गेट इनसाइट। लेट मी शेयर विद यू द रिसेंट एग्जांपल। हमारे एक फार्मेसी का हेड है, दैट गाय, वो सुबह से लेकर के शाम तक उसका एक ही काम है, डांटना चिल्लाना, शाउटिंग करना लोगों के ऊपर। ही गेट्स एंग्री ऑन सो मेनी पीपल। ही केम टू माय इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस वर्कशॉप। मेरी वर्कशॉप में वो बंदा आया एंड आई वॉज एबल टू रीड हिज एक्सप्रेशन कि उसको कुछ अनकंफर्टेबल सा लग रहा है। वो कभी बैठ के ऐसा हो रहा है, कभी बैठ के ऐसा हो रहा है। बॉडी लैंग्वेज स्पीक्स ना, एक्सप्रेशन स्पीक्स, इजंट इट? I was able to make it out कि यार इस बंदे को something is itching in his mind which is not allowing him to concentrate better. I took him out during the break. Come Sundar, sorry, name I should not tell. He's a HOD level person. I took him. I said, what happened? He said, sir, whatever you shared today, this is the same mistake I am doing in my life from last many years. I said, very good. Now then I asked him, is there any life you found in the previous company, any manager who was doing like this? He said, yes sir, exactly, my boss was doing. I learned from him. I learned from him. Now I gave him the simple thing. Okay, you tell me, the people in other organization in the healthcare space doing the same job, same role, everybody is doing like this only? He said, sir, I do not know. I do not know. Then I told him, I'll give you the number of some of the people. Go and talk to them. Other people were doing the same job with the better performance, no shouting, no screaming on the people, कोई हार्ड बंद नहीं, कुछ भी नहीं, but they are getting their job done. Are you understanding? He got the message. Are you understanding? So the simple thing is that there are many ways how to do the things, right? That's why you can come out that repetitiveness. Otherwise, you will get frustrated, and one day you will write a, dear sir, thank you so much, and something. This is what. Isn't it? This is also one of the reasons people leave the job and the company. If you don't bring something new into that. Yeah, but thanks for asking question. You helped so many people to understand with these examples.
Thank you, sir.
And next question. सही है सर? अमित सर? इसमें भी है? अच्छा. Let's see.
afternoon, everyone. Myself, Tanish Sharma.
कहाँ से आओ? Sorry यार. हाँ, yeah, please carry on.
Yes, sir. I had a question that, according to you all, which wins, seniority or talent? Because most of the time we have seen that when there is an opportunity, the high management mostly favors to the seniority, which leads to office politics, and whoever has work experience has faced this same scenario. So, what are your opinion on it?
दोस्त, माफी चाहूँगा कान पकड़ के एक बार बोल दो यार.
Yes, sir. Whenever there is any opportunity in an organization, there are two individuals. One has talent, the other has seniority. So, according to most of the time, higher management supports seniority, right? Because of the sense of belongingness and all, which leads to office politics.
आपको चॉकलेट देने का मन कर रहा है यार. है नहीं लेकिन ये चॉकलेट क्वेश्चन है यार, बहुत प्यारा क्वेश्चन है. आई लाइक दिस क्वेश्चन, है ना. तो सर एक बार मेरे को याद दिलाएंगे नेक्स्ट टाइम जब भी मैं आऊँगा, सर वो चॉकलेट लेके आना है आपको, ठीक है? वर्चुअल चॉकलेट भेज दूँ? या गुड, सुपर क्वेश्चन, वेरी गुड क्वेश्चन, गॉट इट. ओके, सो सर, शिल्पा मैडम, रूपश्री मैडम, टेन्योर वर्सेस टैलेंट, क्या मक्खर, क्या क्वेश्चन पूछा यार, मतलब तुमने दिल ही जीत लिया यार. ये क्वेश्चन तो मैं बोलूंगा आप हमारे कॉर्पोरेट में आके पूछो जब टाउन हॉल मीटिंग होती तो मजा आ जाएगा. लिटरली तालियां बजेंगी गड़गड़ाहट के साथ, जोरदार. जी सर.
I think you will learn something on talent management. You will also learn the theory side of it. Okay. We have this common expression in industry, like, is this experience or existence? Someone has worked there for years and been there. You can sit. I think you can also follow if you are. So talent management is something which we are actually trying to understand through your question, right? How to really, optimize the talent which is available. Experience comes with a lot of, other side or downside of experiences. There is always something called, something gets into the head. You call it different names, and they become complacent. That's the problem with, people who are there for a period over 2 years or 3 years in the same function. I think that is one of the reasons in pharmaceutical we never had the luxury of staying in the same place for more than 3 years. My wife knows how to pack. In 24 hours, we know how to reach out to the packers and movers and how to hunt for houses. She is an expert. Right? Why? Because this is one of the reasons where people do not allow to be there in some of the functions for long duration or tenure. But it is not applicable across all industrial functions or all operation functions. For instance, I have seen senior managers, even IT sector or Mohan sir, and there are a lot of people who come here, IT and IT-enabled services. I have seen people there for long years. They have played long innings and like Dravid, and they never got tired also. They contribute. So there are people who do that in a consistent way. In fact, here their mantra is, I think, to answer to his question also, they always keep thinking that I am contributing and my talent is getting utilized by the organization. I keep improving on a daily basis. It is a continuous improvement. They can think that they are contributing and their talents are getting utilized. And the other side of it, I don't want to answer that it is because of those who are experienced bring the problems to the organization. I can't really agree with the statement that gossip is only because of the newcomers also do a lot of that. So with that note, there could be some other expressions or thoughts to that you can add.
Please.
See, students, very good question you asked, that talent or experience. We always feel that with experience, when you are talented, every day you are getting some experience, correct? Or when you are experienced, your talent, because of your talent, you are working and you are gaining lots and lots of experience, correct? But now the new concept has come, learn, relearn and unlearn, correct? That's why the skill development play a very important role where the people like my generation, okay, I'm now 54-year-old. I never did worked in computer. I passed my MSc in 1991 and I did my PhD in 1995. When I was in 91, computer has introduced. I have used it little bit and my thesis got printed in the electronic typewriter. Correct. You understand my point? We don't have a printer, we don't have internet, nothing is there. Correct. I never studied, but with day-to-day work, we learn so much. Correct. So what is the demand? What is there? What is the change in the technology happening? What is the revolution is happening? Being a leader, being a talented person, being an experienced person, you should not stuck at one place that yes, I know all this, I'm the director, I should not learn anymore. Learning is every day. You have to come forward, you have to learn new techniques, new technology, and you have to upgrade yourself. The best example you can see that nowadays if you go to even vegetable shop or auto wala, he has a scanner. Correct. Where? When they know. Before COVID, nobody knows what is called digitization. At least in India, at least in villages, nobody will pay the Google Pay and all that. Correct now? Now everyone, daily I travel, if I say give me scanner, he shows the scanner and I pay it. Correct. He's illiterate. He cannot read even it is 265 rupees or 506. But he learned. So, what I mean to say that talent, experience, always matter a lot, but you have to skill yourself, you have to upgrade yourself, and you have to adopt the latest and new technology to enhance your skill set. That is more important. Correct? Those days has gone that you are principal, so you remain principal. No. Correct? If you are not able to upgrade yourself, you can't move with what is in the demand, you are obsolete. You are gone. Correct? So I think this is also one of the parameters. That's why skill development programs, everything will come into picture. That's why recruiter will always ask that beyond your curriculum, what you have studied, what certification you have did, what else experience you are learning. So all that matters a lot. That is what my say is.
No, thank you so much, madam, for sharing the perspective. Any last? Amit sir's question. Two type of attrition. How many types of attrition? Two types. One attrition is what the organization want to happen. A person should leave. Another attrition is the attrition which employee want to leave. Right? So every year we do this exercise of what do we call? Rationalization. Very important terminology in HR. Employee cost rationalization. Right? This is the yearly exercise what organization used to do. And we also do this, right? Where some of the positions become redundant, right? And that is why where the concept is coming into the picture, the concept which says that when it comes to the job, are you making yourself irreplaceable in that organization? And how you can make yourself irreplaceable? When you really contribute, right? If the opportunity is given between you and three more people, is your leader is one who is saying no, and along with him is there 2-3 people also along with them, one no, that's what which is really required, so that your position, your role will remain in the organization. Role may change to some other department, you may be given some extra responsibility, but nobody is there to touch. Right? So make yourself, and when is it going to happen? When you become innovative. When you share new thoughts to the organization, whatever organization knows. He asked such a wonderful question whenever new person comes into the organization with so much of talent. Organization is not at all exposed earlier. So are we really welcoming such experienced people, such the talented people to the organization to implement something new? Right? And this again comes from the culture of the organization, that how much you are ready to imbibe new things, or अभी भी आज भी पुराना तरीके से आप काम करोगे. Yes, So that is why, where the organization is really required. So are you replaceable or are you irreplaceable? What really decides how much you contribute to the organization? That is why when it comes to the 6 o'clock, don't look at the clock at the 6 o'clock, look at the work which have you finished or not. Assignment is given to you, your manager is responsible to someone else based upon the assignment and the project and the task given to you. Are you really finishing the task qualitatively on time or before time, or at once the time is, manager is keep on following with you, right? So make yourself irreplaceable. Find out what best things are happening, not only in your industry, apart from other industries. So that is why whatever you are working from 9 to 5 for your survival, beyond that, whatever you are working, that is for your fortune. Create fortune. Create. If you are in the job, don't think that I will get retired. Learn the things and the processes over there and bring something of for yourself and become a innovator or maybe an entrepreneur or something. Right? So that's what which is important. Thank you so much. We really enjoyed having the conversation today. K, knowledge, A, attitude, S, skill, and H is for habit. That is called KASH, right? If you go to my description of LinkedIn profile, you will find that there is the cash model which we implemented with the help of the technology in the organization in terms of mapping the competencies of the talent, right? So this is the model. Maybe sometime, in the future we will discuss about this, right? Thank you so much, and do not forget to share your post on LinkedIn. Whatever your learnings are there, share learnings. These are my 5 learnings: number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Very good cognitive activity. My LinkedIn is full of ISBR, isn't it? Yeah. So, sir, I shared that in the pharmaceutical, every 3 years, my wife is becoming expert in changing the house and the homes. Same thing happened with me. Even Ishan's, the discussion in the podcast, in a lot of his interview, he said that I never stay in one city for a longer period of time because my father's job is transferable, and that gave me a lot of learnings. Yeah, I was unable to make very good friends, but different experiences of different friends at different places. So thank you so much. Literally enjoyed having the interaction with all of you. Bye.